Hello, this is Sheryl Willis over at Go Arizona Real Estate with EXP, bringing to you monthly market update for October 2022. First bit of good information is for the renters or the tenants out there. Yay! Guess what? Rents are staying right where they were a year ago today. So landlords, not so good news. That means that we have plateaued on rental rates. So if you didn't raise your rental rate last year or previously already this year, don't try and do it next year or you're going to lose your tenants. We have seen 175% increase in rental inventories. Now, this is a culmination of Wall Street and also corporate rentals and a lot of sellers or homeowners, I should say, that have decided to rent instead of sell, which leads me to homeowners. If you are thinking of selling, don't do it now if you don't have to. Look, hanging on to your home for another year is not going to produce a whole lot more revenue. Here's what's going on with the market as far as the values. We did see our peak in our market in May of 2022. If you go back to earlier this year to any of my videos, we talk about how the interest rates were intentionally going to be raised in order to slow down that demand. When you have lower demand and you start building up that inventory, not to mention we saw a lot of new inventory. I wouldn't say shadow inventory, but we've talked about that also. Opendoor dumped 2,000 homes on the market, which, by the way, homes that are owned and being sold by Opendoor now are now considered distressed properties. So if you're worried about an Opendoor home selling in your neighborhood, more often than not, the appraiser will throw out that sale. So don't worry about it. But there's a little tip for buyers. The other dump was new construction. A lot of builders were not putting their listings in MLS for a multitude of reasons, more specifically because they lose immediately 2 to 3% when you use a realtor. If the listing is put in MLS, then that means a realtor is entitled to that compensation. So the builders finally realized they needed realtors to bring in the buyers, and they literally dumped everyone at the same time. So we saw this inventory just spike up. But here's the thing, it only spiked up to 80%. We saw appreciation reaching numbers that we had never seen before. And again, the intent of raising the interest rates was to slow down the demand, to slow down the craziness of having to come in over market value because there were more buyers than there was inventory. We all know what that chaos looked and felt like. But because interest rates have now been raised at the same time as absolute inflation, gas prices, food prices, absolutely everything has gone up. So we have seen a 20% decline of buyer activity. What that's done is taken that appreciation that we had earned earlier this year and now brings from September of 2021 to September of 2022 to an annual appreciation rate of 7.5%. Now, I know many people are going, are you kidding? Only 7.5? When you're going 10,000 miles an hour and all of a sudden you go the speed limit, it seems like you're not going very fast at all. If you think about it, 7.5% appreciation per year is a very solid return. We've just been spoiled with these ridiculous numbers. So if you go back 2 years and we look at September 2020 to September 2022, well, actually May of 2022, our peak, we were seeing a 45.5 median appreciation. Now, let me remind you, median just means the middle number. It means half are above and half are below. So think about it. There were some homes over a 2-year span, not even a 2-year span, that were making over 46% appreciation. That is insane. And when you do look at from September 2020 to September 2022, let's see if I can get all those twos right, Even with this modest correction that we've seen this year, you still have had a 34% median appreciation over the 2-year period. It is still numbers that we had never seen before. So we talked about we're going to get the market down to a nice balanced market, and then we're going to see a moderate 3 to 5% appreciation per year. Let's talk about what's going on for buyers. Buyers, you asked for it and you got it. You said, I am not coming in with all this extra money to pay and waive inspections and waive appraisal and give away my firstborn to buy a home. Well, you know what? That stopped. Now you have slightly higher interest rates. And yes, it is one or the other. Let me tell you why right now is a fantastic time to buy. As I mentioned, the higher interest rates have reduced that buyer demand to 20% below where we normally are. And now that we have all this glut of inventory, we talked about it, regular listings, people that are moving, getting divorced, combined incomes, people getting married, people getting divorced, whatever the situation is, you have that normalcy of people selling homes. We also have Open Door. We also have Wall Street. And then we also have all the new construction. With all that added on, we're still only at 79.2% of our normal inventory. So with our 20% below supply and 20% below demand, that gives us a balanced market. So for buyers, this is what you wanted. You wanted a balanced market, because if it's too much of a buyer's market, then values are going down. If it's obviously too more of a seller's market, buyers aren't getting a fair shake. We are right at a balanced market right now, and we will continue to see amazing opportunities and deals through the end of the year. What happens in January? If you look at the seasonality chart, it shows you that the amount of contracts decline in the last quarter. And again, that's why the buyers that are still in the market are getting these screaming deals every year, even the last couple of years. And every year, no matter whether we're talking 2014, 2018, 2021, every January, there is a spike back up, and it will continue. That is when Arizona starts their buyer's market. Sellers get a little bit more hopeful, and we also have the weather in our favor. So if you were thinking of buying, now is the time to buy. Here's another thing. Builders have declined their permit requests. The permits are down a scary 46%. This is the lowest we have seen since 2017. So let me tell you, we're seeing a lot of changes and reactions as a result of the interest rates that went up in the April-May timeframe. I'm afraid that with these fewer builder permits, that we're going to be in a very similar situation in a matter of 2 or 3 years here in the Phoenix area. And to further talk about that, let me explain why. The greater Phoenix area is slated to be the #1 job creator in America until 2030. They are anticipating 700,000 more jobs by 2030. We are expecting 1 million more people moving into the greater Phoenix area over the next 8 years. Where are they going to live? We have over 200 domestic companies, prospects that are looking at Arizona, and 58 international companies that have Arizona on their radar to call their next home. There is so much growth going on in the greater Phoenix area. And despite the fact that interest rates are going up, there are many things that are still business as usual. I'm telling you guys, now is that window. And here is the last piece of the last tool I'm going to give you to show you what to watch. Everyone is waiting to they want to get in at the bottom. You want to start right when the market starts to go back up, that's when it's over and now you've missed the bottom, right? So when's the right time to buy? right now until. We don't know what that until is. Here's a chart that will show you what the Cromford Market Index has been over the last 3 years. So you can see where we've gone, where we've been, and where we're potentially going. We have been in a flat market for over 7 weeks. Anything over 4 weeks in a row is considered a trend. Anything can change by one, but when you start to see 7 weeks in a row, this is where the market's going. So we are at the bottom and we're just coasting along. And let me tell you, the moment this little dot starts to go up, that's the end of the bottom and we're heading right back up. So if you are thinking about buying a home, I cannot tell you there is no better time than right now to get your ducks in a row. Make sure you speak with your lender. We have a fantastic wholesale lender that will help you get pre-qualified with today's rates and also some phenomenal 3-2-1s, 2-1s, and buy down type of loans. This is the perfect market for the not so perfect buyer. If you are using an FHA loan or a VA loan, I'm telling you, 6 months ago, you couldn't get in a home. I don't even need to tell you that. You know that. In many areas, depending on the price point as well, if you were putting down less than 20%, you had no chance at all. Right now, you can get the sellers or the builders to buy your rate down to help with closing costs. You get homes in great quality or you're being compensated for it. It's never been a better time to be a buyer. And I'm telling you, it's going to get crazy again in the next few years once those interest rates go back down. All right, guys. So if you are thinking of buying or selling in or around, out or about the greater Phoenix area, then give us a call. Shoot us a text, send us an email, days, nights, weekends. We got your back when you're moving in and around the Phoenix area. And until next time, be kind and early happy holidays. All right. See y'all soon. Give us a call. Bye.